What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's your boy ATL Driver John here with you, giving you another video about some things. Let me try to get my camera straight. You guys bear with me a little bit. There we go. Wanted to kind of get it straight for you. Here to make another video for you. Hope you're making some money out there today. Hope you're staying safe out there. Beautiful Atlanta day here today. High should be in the 80s, so hopefully Thursday sometimes can be a good time for driving, a good time for some airport runs. Wanted to make a quick video about how to conserve gas. Ways that you can do to conserve gas. Ways that I do to conserve gas, and maybe these are ways that you want to consider as well. The first thing is it has to do with dropping off passengers. Okay, here's the first thing to do, and really the main thing to do. After you drop off a passenger, what typically tends to happen is, you drop off the passenger, then you leave. You skirt off to another area, or you skirt off to something else, or you may just kind of idly drive around until you get another call. Typically, what I like to do is after I drop off a passenger, I go and I find maybe a local place like a not a gas station, I'm sorry, like a grocery store or someplace like that, or a Walmart or some open area where I can park. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to drop that passenger off and then park within that area, and then I'll wait for another call. What you try to do to conserve gas is you don't want to do a lot of dead driving. Now, again, there are going to be times where you have to do dead driving. And what I mean by dead driving, that's just driving around without a passenger in the car. Every time you move your car and you have no passenger in it, you're not making any money. You're just burning gas. And so you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And so one of the ways that I do it is I like to drop the passenger off, and then what I like to do is find an area, and then I go and sit and I go and park and I wait for another call. I find that this really works very, very well because typically, depending on your market, again, you got to know your market and you got to know your city. You'll end up getting a call anywhere between sometimes 15, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, you'll get a call. If it's really busy, you'll get a call quickly. But one of the things that you can always remember when you drop off a passenger, go and find a place to park. And this is real good for all my rookies that are out there driving. This is your first time driving. Try not to just idly drive around, just rolling around, because sometimes we don't recognize that the app recognizes you. It sends out a signal within about a 15-mile radius, if you will. And so you don't have to just drive around to get a call. You can stay parked and a call will come to you. Another way that I like to conserve gas is I don't try to drive during dead times. Here in Atlanta, right after maybe checkout hotel times, where typically is between 10 and 11, there's a dead zone. Unless you're doing things like Uber Eats or a couple of your rideshare programs that you're delivering food, you'll find a dead zone between 11 o'clock maybe to 1 o'clock. You'll find a dead zone. Try not to drive during those times. I mean, that's when you want to clock off if you're driving during the daytime. Go to the gym, go to the library. If you're in school, do some studying. If you want to go home, maybe go home and take a break or relax. But you don't want to drive during those dead times, because you may get one or maybe two calls, but they're going to be far and few in between, and so it's going to be a lot of just dead time waiting or driving around. That'll start burning gas for you, so you want to consider that. Another thing to do is, and here's something that I know other drivers do, and I do it too, you want to be careful with surge chasing. Believe it or not, surge chasing will burn out a lot of gas because you're trying to get to that surge before that surge ends. And I do it at times. If I'm close to that surge, I tell you, man, I'm going for it. I'm trying to get it, but I have found out that it burns out gas because you're driving, sometimes you're driving faster, you're stopping and you're trying to get there as quick as you can. And then it burns a lot of gas. Maybe if you're trying to go from one part of the city to the other part of the city, and you want to be careful of that. Try to get surges that are right around in your area. And if you go to one of my earlier videos, here's what I do with the surges. I try to get there before the surge. Remember, the main thing with Uber is knowing your city. Know where the surges are and the times that those surges hits. hit so you can be in that area before the surge even takes place. And then when the surge now takes place, you're able to cut the app on and be able to get some good rides. So that's a better way for surge chasing. And maybe I'll just do a whole video about how to deal with surges. And the next thing that I try to do to conserve gas is I try not to get gas within the city limits, especially here in Atlanta downtown. Man, they're gonna gank you for gas. They're gonna raise the prices up to these huge amounts, and you're gonna burn a lot of money, putting gas in your car in the city. I love dropping passengers off on the outskirts of the city because I find that their gas is much cheaper outside of 285. And so that's something to consider when you're dropping people off, especially in areas like Covington or Conyers or Clayton County, or if you had Fayetteville, you'll find that the gas is much cheaper down there. And I don't care what your tank is on, that's when you should get some gas when you find those prices cheaper. That'll help you conserve gas. And the last thing is going back to the first thing. Don't do a lot of dead driving. If possible, when you drop off a passenger, go find an open area where you can park at and wait for your next call. Don't just do a lot of idle driving. You don't have to drive around so the signal can pick you up. It will pick you up in the area. And if you've been there, try to have a time limit. Let's say if you say, okay, I'm going to stay in this area for no longer than 20 minutes, and then I'm going to move to a next nearby area to try to get in a better signal. If you can do those things, it'll help you be able to conserve gas where you're just not idly driving. So I hope this video helped. I hope it did. If it did, drop me a comment. Maybe I missed something. Hit me up in the comment line. Also, please subscribe to the page. If you want to drive with Uber and Lyft, you know the deal. We got the links underneath the video that you can sign up for. Maybe today I'll come back with another video. Maybe not. Until then, stay safe out there. Conserve your gas. And we'll see you on the next go round. Peace.